Hey guys, it's Rich, and I wanted to share with you a little story that I shared at the parent faith formation meeting today for high school. So, about 12 years ago, Josie and I were at Mass with our kids, and after Mass, a woman came up to us. She was a parishioner and she was a friend, and she said, "Hey Josie, hey Rich, I need a favor. Could you bring 5 loaves of bread and 2 gallons of milk to the soup kitchen?" And we're like, "Yeah, when is that? And what do we do?" And she said, "It's easy. Just bring the 5 loaves of bread and bring the 2 gallons of milk to the back door at the Salvation Army on Wednesday at 4:30, and someone will let you in." And we're like, "Okay, we can do that." And we did. And she goes, "Oh yeah, and you can bring your kids. It'll be fun. I mean, it's good for the whole family." So we did that, and though I had some reservations, we did it, and we had a blast. And Madeline and Carmen, I think they were 5 and they were 7 at the time, and they served coffee and they served milk and waters, and we served trays and helped clean up and did dishes, and it was a family event, and it was great. And we started doing it on a regular basis after that. And we made friends with the people from our parish who we never really socialized with. But we had this in common, that we all did the soup kitchen together. And we made friends with the guests at the soup kitchen. People who experienced homelessness on a regular basis, we became friends with, got to share stories of our experience and their experience. And it was wonderful, and lifelong relationships built by us participating in this. And the reason why I bring this up is because my first point, I was like 38 or 39 at the time. And to be honest with you, like I almost went 40 years without doing any kind of service to the poor, and I right now, like as a youth minister, I take kids who are 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 on youth missions, and they're serving the poor, they're doing street ministry, and they're so young, and they're experiencing this kind of work, this kind of activity at such a young age. It's going to leave indelible marks into their life as they grow older and move forward into their faith, and deeper into their faith. But it took me almost 40 years to do something like that. So my first point would be that it's never too late. If you've never done anything like this and you have kids, and or maybe you don't have kids, I would really strongly suggest that you look into this and start participating, start volunteering for your community. The second thing is that we did it as a family. And since then, we started doing this as a family. My wife and my 2 daughters and myself, we've been on countless mission trips together in New York City, Wisconsin Dells, Chicago. We've served at soup kitchens in New Mexico, you name it. And this is just a way of life for us now. I'm not bragging, and I'm not saying how great we are, because really we're just like any other family. But it's been a blessing to us. It's been a huge blessing to us in so many ways. And the last thing I'll say is this isn't just my opinion. I actually looked at some studies that actually look at volunteering and the effects it has when parents and children volunteer together and do community service together, especially service to the poor. And one of the things they found out, one of the things that is common with all these studies, is that there is a common thread when it comes to the children looking at their parents. Children have much more adoration and respect for their parents who actively volunteer with their children. And who doesn't want that from their children? The other thing is that parents who have children who volunteer with them together in a project like this, and serving the poor in soup kitchens or whatnot, their children are more grateful for the things they have. They're more grateful for the food on the table. They're more grateful for the clothes on their back. They're more grateful for their house, as modest or as fancy as it is, and they're more grateful for their parents. And that's a beautiful thing, okay? So I would say that if you're watching this and you haven't ever thought about volunteering with your student, with your child, to pray about it, to talk about it, I'm going to list some opportunities below that St. Anne's is going to offer this year. One of the things we're going to continue to offer is the first Wednesday of every month, we're going to be offering spots to help volunteer at the Grace Lutheran Soup Kitchen. We're going to continue to do trips to Chicago to work alongside Missionaries of Charity. These are Mother Teresa's sisters. This is the order she founded. And there's much grace that comes from working side by side with these beautiful sisters who give their life to Christ, who give their life to the poor, to serve the poorest of the poor. And then we also are going to add St. Ben's Community Meal in Milwaukee. St. Ben's Community Meal in Milwaukee is a great place that serves the community as a whole. It's run by the Capuchin Friars. If you don't know who the Capuchin Friars are, I can name St. Padre Pio and Blessed Solanus Casey. Those are two great Capuchin Friars. And so you know the work they do, you know the charisms that they have within their order. And then something new that's going to be great in an intergenerational kind of way. We're going to be making lunches at the Addison on Saturdays with the residents at the Addison for the residents of Shalom Center. So, I mean, talk about like synergy and what a great way to serve the community, to get to know more people, to be able to start these intergenerational relationships within our parish and within the whole community. So I pray that you take this to heart, that you look at this, that you see that the Holy Spirit may be calling you to more, that the Holy Spirit may be calling you to get out of your comfort zone, that the Holy Spirit may be calling you to grow as a family, to venture out together as a family, to go beyond what the Eucharist gives you and pass it on, to be Christ to the world. So with that, I say God bless you and have a great week.